Welcome back to Knowledge Hive, where we believe knowledge is a service and sharing it empowers all of us. I'm your host, Leisa Sims, CEO of Knowledge Hive. Today's topic is Beyond the Org Chart, Building a Fractional Executive Collective for 2026. So, is your leadership team truly equipped for the rapid changes heading our way in 2026? Traditional hierarchies are struggling to keep pace, leaving businesses vulnerable. What if you could tap into a decentralized C-suite of specialized experts on demand without the overhead? Today, we're unveiling the practical operational frameworks of collaborative models for building the future of leadership without blowing up your org chart. Why is the org chart breaking? Let's start with a truth that most leaders feel but rarely say out loud. The traditional org chart was designed for stability, not volatility, and assumed clearly bounded roles, predictable markets, linear growth, long tenure. But 2026 is shaping up to be defined by AI accelerated cycles measured in months, regulatory whiplash, cyber risk as a board level issue, talent shortages at the executive level as well. Also, constant experimentation instead of static strategy. And so, what's the result? The result is that leadership teams are overloaded, under-specialized, and really slow to adapt. Here are some of the symptoms organizations are already experiencing. CIOs are now expected to also be experts in AI ethics. The CFOs are handling more mergers and acquisitions, compliance, automation, and scenario modeling. And CMOs are responsible now for growth, data privacy, marketing technology stacks, and brand trust. CEOs are now forced into the integration layer for everything. So this isn't a talent problem, it's a structural problem. To solve this, let's look at defining a fractional executive collective. Let's define terms clearly. A fractional executive collective is not a consulting firm or a staffing agency or a bunch of random fractional leaders. What it is a curated role-based leadership system. It's designed for modularity. It's built around outcomes, not titles. And it's operated through shared governance and operating norms. Think of it as a decentralized C-suite where each executive owns a specific decision domain. Engagement is scoped, time-bound, and outcome-driven. Collaboration is intentional, not accidental. Leadership capacity expands and contracts with business needs instead of we need to hire a full-time chief data officer. You ask, what data leadership outcomes do we need for this next 6 to 12 months, and who is best equipped to deliver them? Three forces are converging. Executive specialization is outpacing traditional hiring models. AI governance leads, cybersecurity executives, environmental, social, and governments known as ESG strategists, privacy officers. These are narrow but critical roles, and most companies don't need them full time. And they can't justify the salary, and they can't afford the learning curve. Fractional models solve this mismatch. Boards are demanding proof, not titles. They increasingly care about risk exposure, resilience of the business, decision velocity, and scenario readiness. Are they ready if there's an attack, for instance? They want capability assurance, not headcount. And finally, top executive talent is choosing flexibility. Senior leaders are opting out of single employer careers. They're building portfolio-based work. They're prioritizing impact over hierarchy. The supply side is ready. We see this on Knowledge Hive every day. Our candidates are amazing and do fill these gaps. The demand side just needs the structure. Let's talk about some of the core roles in a fractional executive collective, an FEC. A mature FEC typically includes a fractional chief strategy officer who owns the strategic coherence across all the initiatives, runs scenario planning and strategic cadence, and ensures alliance between market signals and execution. A fractional chief AI or technology officer then oversees AI adoption, automation, tooling, partners with legal and compliance, and sets guardrails for experimentation. And a fractional chief financial officer manages capital allocation, oversees forecasting and modeling, and supports pricing and growth strategy. Chief risk officer, our CIO, manages cybersecurity and data privacy and vendor risk and incident readiness. And then finally, a fractional people and cultural executive takes a look at the workforce design, the skills strategy for the company, and leadership enablement, change management. The key is not having all of them, but having access to them through a shared operating model. Okay, so how do you set up this operating framework? This is where most companies fail, so pay attention. Fractional Executive Collective operating system needs to have decision rights mapping. Every executive must have clear domains, defined escalation paths, explicit authority boundaries. And this prevents executive overlap, political gridlock, CEO bottlenecks. And you also need a shared cadence. Typical rhythm is a monthly collective sync, quarterly strategic reset, a weekly async updates, and tools like, Notion, Coda, Asana. Those are all great tools to operationalize. You have to define outcome-based contracts. Each executive engagement should specify the time horizon, measurable outcomes, decision responsibilities, and most importantly, the exit criteria. When's it done? This keeps the system agile. Keep a close eye and make sure the CEO is an integrator, not an operator. The CEO's role shifts more to an orchestrator, priority arbitrator, cultural carrier, and not a micromanager. And here's some real-world use cases just to give you an idea. Let's say you own a growth stage SaaS company, software as a service. Problem is scaling revenue, mounting security concerns, burn rate pressure, and the solution, fractional CFO, fractional CISO, fractional go-to-market strategist. And the outcome is improved forecasting accuracy, reduced security exposure, and faster decision cycles. So what if you own a mid-market manufacturer? The problem for those folks normally are things like legacy systems, AI curiosity, but no roadmap. And so the solution would be a fractional chief AI officer, fractional operations executive, and the outcome would be automation pilots launched in a target of 90 days, cost savings without layoffs. So also, yes, we need to discuss risk, pitfalls, and how to avoid them. Let's be honest, this model is not magic. Common mistakes, treating fractional execs like consultants, no shared documentation, vague accountability, cultural resistance from internal leaders. Well, over-communicate the decision rights, normalize async leadership, reward collaboration, not ownership, anchor everything to outcomes. In closing, the future of leadership is modular. The org chart isn't dead, but it's no longer enough to run a successful business. In 2026, competitive advantage will come from leadership flexibility, specialized expertise, fast decision-making, lower structural risk, and the fractional executive collective also isn't a workaround. It's a new leadership architecture. The organizations that build it first won't just survive the next wave of change, they'll actually define it. And if you are a business that needs the type of individuals I've discussed today to help you in your business, or if you are one of these people, we would love to help you at knowledgehive.co. Knowledge Hive is an on-demand marketplace for top-tier professionals who are willing to share what they know with others who need their expertise. If you're looking for help, you are a seeker. And if you are offering help, you are a hiver. If you love this episode, share it with someone who's also reimagining their next chapter of their career or how to restructure the way that they do business. Keep questioning, keep exploring, keep building the future on your terms. Again, I'm Leisa Sims. I'd love to hear your freelance or consulting journey, or put your thoughts and comments in on this topic below and subscribe and ring the bells and do all those things, you know. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or at knowledgehive.co. New episodes drop every week, so don't forget to subscribe, ring the dang bell, you know the drill. And if you haven't already, go ahead and create a free profile at knowledgehive.co. Until next time, we are Knowledge Hive, and we are knowledge as a service.